This week on the show.
Santa locked down in Lapland.
We try to offer all the visitors that Christmas spirit and joy despite of these challenging times.
Fixing the world's longest wall with the help of technology.
Is it true that 30% of the original wall has vanished?
I think so, yeah.
And a little warm holiday glow as months of enforced separation comes to an end for one couple.
Hello and welcome to the programme, coming to you this week from a rather rainy Norfolk in the east of England. Well, Christmas is most definitely on its way and so many of us love to travel during December. Unfortunately, this year isn't quite the same. Still, sit tight, stay patient and let us bring the world to you.
First up, traditionally, many of us love to travel around this time of year, but with so many restrictions currently, what's happening in those places where Christmas is a year-round obsession? Well, it feels like a long time ago now, but around this time last year, I was in the village of Thursford for the UK's biggest annual Christmas show. For over 40 years, people have been flocking here to see a traditional all-singing, all-dancing seasonal spectacular that's broken records and become a regular fixture in the Christmas calendar of many people here in the UK. 150 artists take part each year, and last year, for one night only, I was lucky enough to be one of them.
Of course, this year, things will be different. But Christmas is far from cancelled.
Sadly, there's no show. Instead, the vast performance spaces and grounds have been transformed into a huge, dazzling light trail for people to explore. Since first opening back in 1977, the Cushing family have run the site and put on the annual Christmas extravaganza.
This is your baby. You've built this up from nothing, this business.
Yes.
How hard was it personally for you to take the decision not to have the performers here?
Well, it was rather like a bereavement, to stop it. So, yes, you're right. I've worked on Christmas here for over 40 years. It starts almost as soon as one show is finished. And to produce it, write it and direct it has been a major part of my life. So, it's not just me, it's the team I had around me, which a lot of them have been with me really for 20 years or more, the production team. So that emotional loss was difficult to cope with.
In theory, you could have shut down entirely, kept a hold of those pennies and waited it out until 2021, but you didn't. Looking around, you really took steps to do something different.
Really a new business. I was confident that it would work and confident it would be a success because of the loyalty we've had from so many people. I've had literally hundreds of letters to say we're coming to your journey of light because we've been coming to Thursford for years, and I think that when they get here they won't be disappointed because we've been working on this since July.
But of course, it's not just Thursford that's had to adapt this Christmas. Even for Santa Claus himself and his helpers up in Santa's village in Finnish Lapland, things are a little different this year.
I'm Antti Nikander, the busy elf. My position is head of development in this village. Santa Claus Village is an international tourism center in the middle of official hometown of Santa Claus Rovaniemi. We have normally more than 500,000 visitors in a year. They are coming from more than 100 countries. Christmas time is the busiest time in our village, and we will receive during the busiest days more than 5,000 people. And now we will receive maximum 1/3 of that amount. 2,260 kilometers from here is London.
Finland has imposed strict measures on incoming visitors, effectively closing the borders for international tourists, which means that almost all the visitors this year are from Finland.
We try to offer all the visitors that Christmas spirit and joy despite of these challenging times. The most valuable Christmas present is that vaccination. After that we are able to focus and plan for the future.
Santa receives around 500,000 letters each year from children around the world. The elves sort them for Santa in the post room, and this year they've been as inundated as ever.
So I'm Riitta the elf, and I'm working here in Santa Claus's main post office at the Arctic Circle. This is a real post office, but also I'm helping Santa Claus with his letters. So children write to Santa Claus, they make wish lists, also they tell about their families. And the letters, they are a little bit different when they come from Western countries. Then they have a little story about themselves, about the children's life and hobbies, but they have bigger lists.
Because of coronavirus, the post office was forced to close this year for 7 months, for the first time in its history.
People, they cannot visit now their families, but they can send a parcel. It's like a Santa Claus sends those, although it's them.
But of course, the real magic happens in Santa's office. In grottos around the world, children traditionally meet Santa and reel off their wish lists for presents. But this year, social distancing means Santa has to do most of this virtually. Although on the plus side, this does mean that a chat with Santa is now open to anyone, like me earlier on today.
Oh, hello, Christa.
Hello, Santa.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well on this dark morning here in London.
But Christa, what do you think? Are you on the nice or the naughty list?
Well, you know what? I think given this year as I've been stuck at home, I haven't had many opportunities to be naughty Santa. So I think I'd like to think I'm always on the nice list, but I think especially in 2020, I'm on the nice list. So Santa, tell me a little bit about your year this year.
Of course, it's different because we are doing it like this. People aren't so close, but this is the new way to do things. And everybody should think about this way to do things, because you have to be close with people. And at the moment, it's not possible in the normal way. So this is a very good way to do it. So I like it, actually.
And have you noticed any difference in the kinds of gifts that kids are wanting from Santa this year?
Small changes, of course, the toys and the hit toys and those things. But quite many children want to have time with their parents. And that's quite heartwarming, I think. And now this is the Christmas to do that.
And so this year, I imagine you've got lots of questions about what your activities are going to be on Christmas Eve. Where's your big night of the year? How's COVID going to affect you this year, Santa?
Not too much, because that's the magic of Christmas. Yes, I'm going to deliver all those presents normally. Don't worry, they are going to come there. But for social distancing, please stay in bed and sleep.
Back here in Thursford, Christmas celebrations are already in full swing.
Well, I guess it can't match the energy of the big show we saw last year. There's plenty of noise and the setting's spectacular, and the people here do seem to be really enjoying themselves. And there are people on a rainy night in the middle of a pandemic, which is in itself quite incredible. Ooh! Still to come on the travel show.
We're in China, watching the cutting-edge science being used to restore parts of the Great Wall. And the couples forced apart by border closures, getting back together for Christmas.
Up next, the latest in our series about the brand new tech being used to restore and protect our most ancient treasures. The question is this week, how do you protect a monument that's 20,000 kilometres long? Amanda headed to China to find out.
This part of the Great Wall of China, located a 2-hour drive from Beijing, isn't where tourists normally go. The Zhangkou section is perched on a mountain ridge at 1,200 meters above sea level. You have to hike up a mountain to get here. This didn't just make it less accessible to tourists, it also made it very difficult to repair.
So give me a sense, what kind of shape was this section in before the repairs started? Because we're sitting on a part that's been repaired.
Yeah.
What did it look like before? How bad was it?
在修缮之前呢，实际上这段长城的话，就说，你会看到它其实破损是比较严重的。像我们坐的这个地方呢，它实际上基本上来说，因为长时间的被这块的长城上面的植被去覆盖，它的这种落叶呀、腐殖质啊，最终再加上有很厚的土，然后很多砖因为被踩踏，基本上来说都已经被踩碎了。
Was it dangerous before?
Yeah. Every year, maybe 1 or 2 people are dead on this period of the war. Maybe hiking. Yeah. Some are hiking and falling down.
For years, the Zhangkou section of the wall was considered so dilapidated, it's even been given a special name, part of the Wild Wall.
So 25 years ago, I came up with this term, wild wall, to differentiate it from the tourist wall. The tourist wall are the places where the wall is being rebuilt, you buy a ticket, there's often a cable car, but the wilderness wall, which is, there are thousands of kilometers of it, actually constitutes the world's greatest open-air museum.
William Lindsay is a historian who fell so in love with the Zhangkou section of the wall, he moved here in the 1990s.
Is it true that 30% of the original wall, or walls I should say, has vanished?
I think so, yeah.
那么就长城来讲呢，是我们现在看的基本上都是就是水害，水对长城的一些侵蚀跟这个冲刷对我们现在的长城的破坏是主要的病因，所以我们现在对长城现在的修缮或者说是保护的措施呢，就是治它的水，包括现在我们看到的这个地面的一些做法，都是把让这些水能够迅速的、快速的排到这个文物本体之外，然后防止它下渗，然后冻胀，继续的破坏这些这个本体。
But repairing a section of the wall like this isn't easy. You can't just drive up here, so getting machinery to the wall is almost impossible too. That means this repair project has had to incorporate both cutting-edge technology and tradition.
You can see the mountains here. The machines can't come here. We have to use people, but we should use technologies to help these people to do this work better. I mean, you have seen that even in nowadays, people rebuild wall use ancient ways. They use animals to carry the bricks, and they use people to carry all the bricks. All the bricks on the wall. Usually, we can't use any machines or mechanic ways to rebuild wall. Usually, we use people to do this.
People whose work is now being helped by cutting-edge technology.
So can you take me through step by step how this process actually worked?
For this section, we need 1 day to fly the drone to take the photo, and each time we will take about 800 or 1,000 photo to calculate this 3D texture model.
800 photos?
Yeah, 800 photos.
And how long does that take?
half day to one day.
And if you didn't have drone footage and people had to go up and do all of this just themselves, so looking at things, taking photos themselves, measuring, how does that compare to this process?
The Great Wall is very difficult to go up. Maybe 1 week or 5 days, like that.
That drone footage was used with an algorithm to create a 3D model of the wall. It meant that every stage could be closely monitored. If, for example, 100 stones were taken off of a part of the wall and then had to be replaced, the engineers could refer to the 3D model of the original wall to know exactly how they needed to be put back. The project has been so successful, they are now repairing a different part of the wall at Jifangko, 300 kilometers or 185 miles from Beijing, using the same software and the same principles.
This is the second project of the rebuilding of Jiangkou Great Wall. The third one will start maybe next year.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Drones?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Amanda reporting there from the Great Wall of China. And there'll be more from our Future of the Past series next year.
This Christmas, many of us will be spending less time with our loved ones than we would like. And there are some couples who've been separated because of border closures and travel bans who are desperate to see their partners.
Well, tens of thousands of people in this situation have rallied together to share tips and advice, as well as their own sweet successes. And we've met one of them. Ryan Ajezier ended up making the longest layover of his life when he was desperate to see his partner Elena in America. And the only way he could get there was to fly to Croatia and spend 2 weeks in quarantine before heading first to Istanbul and then finally onto the US.
All I was seeing all year was just news. You're just bombarded with COVID news. It's just like, this travel is not happening, lockdowns are getting worse, cases are rising. So when I started to see other people, real human beings in the same situation, tackling the same challenges, and being able to ask them just straight up on Facebook and get a response, then that planted the seed, and then I could think, yes, this is possible.
Love is Not Tourism is a grassroots global movement dedicated to reuniting binational couples and families who have been separated by travel bans and border closures, shutting down of visa processes due to the pandemic. It was very meaningful to meet people, even just online, and to hear their stories, also to hear our successes and to collaborate.
I wake up in the morning and then I'm like, let's do it. Let's just commit, let's go for it. So Friday morning, book a flight to Croatia, book 2 weeks Airbnb. Saturday, I'm in Croatia.
On behalf of the captain and the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you here to Zagreb.
I'm too deep, I'm too committed to this. I'm either going to go all the way to get there or it's not going to work. I was worried, for sure, I was worried. I think when I initially booked everything, I get a huge rush. I'm excited, I'm like, wow, I've booked this, I'm flying tomorrow, there's not even time, let me pack everything, let me get to Heathrow, let me get to Croatia. Really empowered, I'm taking control of everything. I haven't even told work that I'm going to be working in another country, haven't told work that I'm going to be in America working in another completely different time zone.
We are more than willing to quarantine before, after. That's not an issue for any of us, and it's never has been. We've always advocated for safe protocols where we prove that we have a real relationship and that we abide by any rules that are in the country, and we will go actually above and beyond those rules if need be, because we want people to know that we want you to be safe. But at the same time, we understand that love is essential and our relationships are absolutely vital right now.
Only the night before I actually flew to Turkey did I then check on the website just one last time. I didn't get much sleep that night because I'm like, everything's running through my head of everything that could go wrong. But then when the actual day came, it was just like a regular travel day. Once I finally got in, it was just like, finally, it's all come, I've completed it, and felt like a good accomplishment. A lot of stress was relieved from my shoulders. Just for the whole notion of the whole idea of doing a 2-week quarantine, or the longest layover I'll ever do in my life, that was filled with a lot of sense of empowerment, of taking control of myself and taking control of my life. But when I got to America, it was just relief. It was just relief that it's done.
I think as a community, we give each other hope every time that we successfully reunite, one partner at a time, one family at a time. That gives us hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I think many of us have seen the successes in various countries, and that has motivated us to ask for the same kinds of protocols and exemptions in our own countries.
She's coming here tomorrow for a month, which is amazing, and can't wait. Can't wait. She just has to do a quarantine in England, as is the current rules, which is a bit nicer for her. No loneliness in Croatia for her, but yeah, I'm excited. It should be a fun Christmas because of it. So.
Hey Travel Show, we're currently at home quarantining and getting ready for Christmas. It's been a crazy year, but we managed to make it work. From getting engaged to now spending Christmas and New Year's together. So from the both of us, Merry Christmas.
Well, that's all we've got time for on this week's programme. But join us next time when Addie's taking a look back at the year that was 2020.
A disastrous year for anyone who loves to travel. But among all the gloom, some moments of inspiration that give us hope for the months to come.
I can't do it! Until then, you can find all of our recent adventures on the BBC iPlayer. We're on social media too, in all the usual places. But for now, from me, Christa Larwood, and the rest of the Travel Show team, take care. We'll see you in 2021.